Hello there, tankers and tankettes. This is Iron Lord Mink coming at you with another replay cast. This one is going to be focused on the IS, the Joseph Stalin 1. Now, in regards to these replays, these are kind of a selection of replays I gathered from when I was pre-marking the IS, which I've been working at for the last day or so. And yeah, let's get into the replays. So the first replay is a replay from Fisherman's Bay. As you can see, I'm pointing the IS with the 100mm gun, as I kind of see the IS as having two very viable gun options. The first one is the D10T, the 100mm, just because of its pretty good penetration, decent gun handling, and it's pretty good DPM as well. The other viable gun option is the D5T, which is the 122, which has a lot more alpha, 390 versus 250, though that does come at the expense of having slightly slower rate of fire, though like I said, the alpha does compensate for that, and of course you do have lower accuracy at around 0.46 base versus the 0.35 with the 100mm. So yeah, yes, get into it. So on Fisherman's Bay here is encounter. What I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to get as much damage as possible. As to pre-mark the IS, it needs to be looking at around 2.5-2k damage a game. Though I believe on whatcon.ru it's kind of reporting that you need about 1700 at the moment, which is fine. And yeah, so let's get into this. So I get a really nice shot there on the Panzers 4H. Currently my damage total is just shy of about 700. In regards to this replay, unfortunately, this is before I fixed the issue with the XP overlap, so I can't be certain, but take out the Skoda T24 there with the second shot, and then I'll start going to work on the M6. With pretty much my main intentions here to try and use the armor on my tank as effectively as possible by angling, though the one thing to note about the IS, especially compared to other Joseph Stalin variants of the IS-2 and war tanks, that the IS itself isn't really that well armoured. It's got 120mm frontal armour, though it is mostly flat, and though you do have that really nice angled part of the armour as well, that again is something that's fairly easy to avoid. So it kind of leaves the tank in a situation where you've got armour, but it's not really as effective as, say, other vehicles like the T29 with its god tier turret armour and decent hull, around 170 effective. With the IS, you kind of got to like try and make the most of what you can consider to be fairly average armour, especially with the turret only being 100mm as well. Fairly easy pen for most things. Now, I get really lucky here because the Object 244 pushes around the corner and I track him pretty much side on and he bounces a few rounds on me, though he does finally adjust his aim, at which point I miss as well, which is kind of frustrating because I could have taken him out. So I'm trying to take him out again, get a shot with the drive wheel, and he goes down nice and smoothly. Now at this point in time, I'm sitting on 3.5k damage. I've had a series of pretty good brawls, and we are wrapping up this battle. Push on the enemy Tiger 1, who is now low health, and my main goal here is, like I say, to try and secure the kill, maybe get a bit more damage, though I've more than met my damage quotas. Like I say, this tank need to hit about 2k, I'd tell an average just to be safe. So I secure the kill there, I push up. The other heavy, the IS on the enemy team is pretty much going to get swarmed by my teammates, so he's pretty much done. And then I see the enemy S51 after the so I try to take a get a sneaky shot on him there by penning the drive wheel and tracking him at the same time. Fortunately, I failed to do that. I just get the track, so I do get some damage assist. I do try to execute him, but he is taken out by my teammate, which is all good. Just 11 seconds before we camp out as well, so again, it was a pretty good game. Epic victory, which is kind of nice, and I am MVP with 3,500 damage, 6 kills, and 338 assists with around 500 blocks. Mastery, Top Gun, Steel Wall, sniper, and of course the good old high caliber, where my marks at this point sitting at around 90%, which is again not too bad, given this was fairly early on where I was trying to go for my marks. So again, that's pretty good. So second battle is going to be a battle on Prokhorovka. Tier 8 game this time. Luckily, because I was playing during the period of +1 minus from matchmaking, I've never really seen any tier 9s, so the worst I'd see would be tier 8s. So that, again, is pretty good for me. So I started this game proper by making a big mistake by heading towards the middle. I then realised this and go, okay, maybe I shouldn't be going towards the middle because that's a really stupid play to make in some window gun impression. So then I pretty much re-evaluate where I'm going and start going to the hill instead, with my primary goal here to try and assist the guys going hill and fighting down 7 line through the village, and just provide sniping support with this really accurate 100mm. Again, nice thing to know about the 100mm is you have got good penetration, 75 base, 235 with 8 CR, and pretty nice alpha damage as well, 250 on standard rounds. And I believe it's around 320 if I'm not mistaken on high explosive. So again, high explosive is quite nice to keep handy for specifically those soft skin vehicles that only keep 2 rounds on the IS just due to the ammo restrictions with the 100mm. So yeah, I pretty much push up to the hill. Team's getting stuck in already, which is really nice. Trying to get some shots on the board. Unfortunately, can't find this shot, but it's fine. It's okay. And I pretty much continue pushing onto the hill. At this point in time, I sort of noticed that the team has heavily gone to the hill, which is again kind of nice, but at the same time it would have been nice to have some guys spot in the middle as well as on one line, just to make sure they don't push out, because even though in Prokhorovka taking a hill, the hill is pretty much the primary objective to win the map. Again, focusing too heavily on it can be a detriment, because you still need people spotting the middle. You still need people stopping them pushing on one line, because if they do take the field and pretty much the entire team is focused on the hill, they can envelop you and pretty much attack you from 2 angles, and there you get caught in the crossfire, and it's not a nice time. So I get a shot in there, which is kind of nice. I start aiming for the Paladin now. While I can easily shoot his low plate here, to get some easy damage, I decide, I'm going to try and double track him. I'm going to lock him in place because the assist I find is more important, especially if you're going for marks where it's a combination of both your raw damage and your assistance, and often if you go for tracking hits, you will get more actual assistance damage and raw damage than if you would just focus on, let's say, the lower plates on this Paladin to get some damage in. Now, also realised that after double tracking him, the team isn't really doing any damage to it. I do eventually switch to shooting his lower plate, though he then eventually gets taken out. At this point in time, I'm on 714 damage, 650 assists. Did block 200, which is kind of nice as well. So that is something to consider. Now, at this point in time, I'm just trying to find shots on stuff. The Huntsman is kind of hold down there, being a pain in the backside. I don't really want to push because I know the second I push forward, if I get lit up and they've got TDs still on the row line or just behind, I will get absolutely wrecked. So again, with that in mind, I've just tried to not play too passively, but play passively enough to save my HP, and again shoot at wherever it gets detected, which again goes really well in my favour because now I'm on 700 combined. The T20 becomes a big pain in my backside as he just keeps swapping up with his 90mm, putting a shot into my side and then pulling back before I can do anything about it, but it's fine, it's no biggie. And at this point I decide to push because I see what's happening on the map. One line has fallen, everyone in the middle will eventually die pretty quickly, leaving only the 2 TDs on the railway line to try and defend, which again means it won't last long. I push over here, execute the Huntsman after the low health, which is really nice, and then I just pay attention there to the Lycan and the Scorpion Enteroid, because again I do want to get extra damage in here and there. I do take a bit of a beating from something, I'm not too sure what it is. I believe it's probably one of the TDs they have in the back, possibly Somnia, I'm not too sure, which does leave me in sort of low health. But again, at this point in time, I just want to push in as best I can to detect it, well, not only detect enemies, but just to do as much damage as possible to try and save this battle, because at this point in time, though it looks like we are winning, that will quickly flip on its head, given that we pretty much lost outside of the map with our spawn. Push over here, take a shot from the Scorpion, which is fine. I do damage to him in return, which is all good. So I'm sitting now on about 2k combined, which is my damage combined requirements. I get a bit of revenge on that T20 by switching targets to him, and then I see the Somnia up in the open, which I assume is on a reload, and I execute him for a bit of extra damage here and there, and a kill. At this point in time, I am on 2700 combined, or just over, so I get another hit in there, and at this point in time, we kind of claw it back quite a bit, though the enemy team will start capping. So at this point in time, with the enemy team beginning to cap, I make the executive decision to start capping on this side, because if we can get rid of the Scorpion and start capping, given that there's some X number of us over on this side of the map, we should be able to out-cap them and secure the win, or at least bore them out of the cap circle. Now at this point in time, we just play the waiting game. Just chill in the cap circle and pretty much just cap out, just making sure to keep a gun pointed towards the forest in case someone does eventually pop up trying to reset us, but luckily that isn't the case. So we just wait another 20 odd seconds and then we pretty much win, which is really nice. The M41 Bulldog pops up. I try to take a snapshot. Fortunately it doesn't pan out for me and he gets away. And at this point in time, we pretty much cap out and secure the win, which is rather nice. So, again, total damage done, 2,360, 690 for assistance, and 426 damage blocked. Because like I say, when it comes to the armor, while it can work, it's not really that effective. You're pretty much playing a big medium when you play the IS, which is rather unfortunate. You can reverse side script fairly well, and while because of the sort of you know, flat rear armor, and if you can hide that and reverse side scrape out at decent angle, because of the 19mm side armor can work out rather well. Though you do have to be really cautious, well, careful in regards to the turrets. And of course, if you do try and side script frontally, I wouldn't. While that usually pays off in most things, because if you got the shoulder plates, which pretty much does mean if you angle the armor to flatten that out, it does make your armor a bit weaker. Yeah, that's something to keep in mind. Now, next battle, mines. Now, I'm still using 100mm reverse point, and this is probably going to be one of the best games I play in the IS before the free marker sets in, and then I switch tactics and switch to the 122. Yeah, so it's mines, tier 7, not too bad, it's not a horrible game. Though, to be honest, my preference when it comes to mines is I hate seeing mines in anything above tier 5. Just because I feel like it's a bit too small of a map for it to really play out well and have all the dynamics for every class to play to their strengths at this tier, but it's fine. I'll start off by getting some shots at the T20. 10-1, missed a second, but then I readjust my aim and start pretty much ripping him to shreds. Pretty much realised fairly quickly that I'm alone on this corner with my only support being Tiger 217, the tier 6 premium variant of the Tiger with the L56 88, which is, you know, is not a bad tank, but again, I'd much rather have some of the bigger guns. Unfortunately, the Black Prince and the other Tiger one on my team are currently camping far behind us, which again isn't going to bode well for this battle, unfortunately. But you know, it is what it is. You can't win every battle in World of Tanks. All you can do is have as much impact as you possibly can. I'll take a bit of a beating here because that ARL, I believe, is using the 90mm F3, though I could be wrong about that. Could also be the 105, not too sure. Start ripping apart the Oni, focusing down on my APCR. Yes, I am kind of spamming APCR a bit in this battle, but mainly because I'm in like super try-hard mode and I want to really get this mark of excellence down. So I start farming the Oni, get him down to one shot. T20 pulls out. I just slightly low roll, though even if I did roll average, I would have still left him on about 7 HP anyway, so I would have still required the extra hit. 40 TP rushes in, I get a shot from him, he gets a shot from me. Again, not boding well for me at the moment. ARL 44 gets really unlucky, hits my tracks, and I hit him in return. Now I decide at this point in time, ARL has to go down because he is a pain in my ass, so he has to go down and die, unfortunately for him. At this point, 3k damage, really good. I execute the 40 TP, and I've got around 800-ish damage block, which is rather nice. Running low on the APCR though at this point, only 3 rounds remaining. Maybe I was a bit too spammy with it, but it's fine. Enemy Tiger 1 pops up, he fires and misses. I start focusing him down, and with a bit of support from the Tiger 2 and 7 behind me, enemy Tiger bounces on me. He gets really unlucky there because he probably should have auto-penned my turret, but as me hit a really bad part, well, probably hit the upper part of the mount at a really bad angle. He goes down, and then I just realised now I've run out of APCR, so I can't pretty much pen right through the knee, so I decided I have to rush him down with the flank at the sides, but he goes down anyway, which is rather nice. Unfortunately, at this point, I'm out of APCR rounds. Again, my bad for spamming it, and I'm pretty much on super low health because that ball where it was pretty much 2 versus 5 effectively, or even more. Which again means that I've pretty much lost any real potential to carry, though I could have played this way safer, and it's my fault for being too aggressive here, as I push out a bit too far, get hit by the M56. I reload HE, because the HE does have higher damage rolls, around 328, and the M56 doesn't really have any real armor. However, it doesn't pay off because, well, his reactions were just better than mine. He was already pre-aimed. I fire at him, and unfortunately, it looks like I hit the tracks and did 80 damage. But I still came second place with 1,003 assistance, 1,748 damage blocked, and just over 3.9k damage done. And that gives me the high caliber mastery, and that takes my marks up to 94%. Now, unfortunately for me, at this point in time, I've just had a couple battles after what I like to call the 3 mark curse, which didn't really bode well to me, and I pretty much was bouncing between about 91 to 92%. I do apologise for the next 2 replays, where I get my mark, the sound is from the in-game sort of missing, but that's because of my bad when it comes to the recording from OBS, because this was actually captured from a stream, or while I was streaming, and I accidentally made a mistake where I didn't record the sound properly. I could hear it from my headset, so I thought it was recording. Unfortunately, it wasn't the case, but it's fine. I'm not going to let that detract from this replay, because again, the next 2 replays pretty much show what you can do with the 122. Now, the key thing to note, 122 versus the 100mm, you do have the same base pen at 175mm, which is again really good for tier 7. However, your APCR pen drops down from 235mm down to 217mm, though that does also come with the caveat as well, where your actual damage, because you're using a high caliber gun at this point at 122, so at 100mm, your alpha goes up from 250 on your standard to 390 on your standard APCR, and your HE goes from what would have been 320 down up to 530. So the HE round on this 122 is really nice, and the HE also has 53 meters of penetration as well, which is again rather nice, especially if you're shooting things like Run Top Ballsticks and things like that. Now, first shot of the game, hit the ISM. Run Top Ballstick takes a snapshot, and that narrowly misses. I mean, that would have decapitated me if I was any higher. But luckily for me, that misses, and I switch to HE and get a whopping 500 plus damage roll on him. At this point, taking a little bit of damage, which isn't ideal, but again, a lot of tanks you can't go around being invincible all the time. I try to get a shot in this T-34-100, where I succeed. However, my teammate gets taken out. 53 TP, just behind that dune. Unfortunately, I don't know what he's really doing, because he does take a long time to react to the situation, where at this point where the T-34-100 falls back, I would have hoped that 53 TP rushed him down to take him out, but is what it is. You can't really do much about that, and that T-34-100 again always kind of still going to bite me in the ass going forward in this battle, but it is what it is. ISM pops up again. I get another shot into his sides. He fires back and misses, and my primary focus here is to try and eliminate this ISM from the battle. Now, the ISM unfortunately has the top turret, which means no easy pens on this. No easy pens, so I have to aim for his lower plate, because that is one thing to note, that the ISM, when it is stock, it pretty much does have the same turret as the IS, which means you can pretty much easily pen right through the turret and nullify its whole armor advantage. I get another shot into him, taking him down to 200 health. T-34 100 pops back up. Again, like I say, it's going to be very detrimental for me. He's going to get some really easy damage with his heat rounds into me, which is fine. Again, the 53 TP still hasn't moved up. So at this point I am a little tilted because he could have easily pushed up within the 5 minutes that guy was away and executed him, but whatever, it's fine. And at this point in time I pull back, trying to reacquire a target on the T-34 100 and see if I can get the ISM to push over so I can engage him and kill him as well. 53 TP finally moves up, which is kind of nice, but could have done it about 5 minutes ago, but oh well, thanks buddy anyway. And at this point in time I decide, okay, I've got to get this ISM out of battle. Now he is one shot, but I do need a clean penetration on his lower plates, especially after I bounced that last round. So I switch to APCR, fortunately aimed very badly there, and the shell ricochets off its top deck armor, which is kind of annoying, but oh well. I re-aim anyway. After reloading, take another shot, and take him out. Meanwhile, he misses me again, which is rather good. T-34 100 pops back up. I've had enough of his shit, so I take him out. So that was rather good. And at this point in time, I can see the writings on the wall for my team. My team's sort of collapsed at this point and is slowly going to get wiped out. However, at this point in time, I'm just going to see how much damage I can do to try and maximize my mark potential, which is rather nice. So aim is, at this point, given I'm sat on 3k damage, just to see if I can get a couple more hits in, even if it's only 1 or 2 more damaging hits. Anything would be good. Again, I've already hit my damage quota, but anything above that is just going to make going for marks a lot easier, so that is something to keep in mind. Try to reverse out here to get Borsig, expecting to come with the ridge, however he doesn't. I take a snapshot, which is again a wasted shell in my opinion, because that literally had nowhere to go but in the air, so again, that's my bad. And I move into the town a bit because I see the Tiger 1 is going to basically push himself out in the open, and that is very easy damage to get right there, although he can 2-shot me, so that is something to consider. So I get a shot into him. He then realizes I'm low health and pushes into me. I try to angle as best I can. He bounces a shell. I get another pen into him. At this point in time, he is now a 2-shot. However, he's going to out DPM me, unfortunately. And while was just about to reload and destroy him, I get taken out by his teammate in the Rheinmetall Borsig, I believe. Now, in terms of damage output, that takes him up to 94.47%, so literally only 0.5% off where I need to be, with around 4k damage done. Again, only a 3rd class, so it's nothing really special, but at the end of the day, it did pretty much do what I needed to do, just get me up to that 94% damage threshold. So at this point in time, nerves are starting to hit me a bit, because I know the next battle could easily be the 3rd mark. At the same time, though, I don't want to repeat the last session I had before this, where I got up to 94% and then suffered the 3-mark curse, and yeah, got very tilted because I kept bouncing between 92 and 91%, but it is what it is. So I decide, I get onto the cliff. Best thing I need to do is just to try and play this as smart as possible, and at the same time I don't want to be playing too passively, but at the same time I do not want to be playing too aggressively. As obviously by playing too aggressively, that is liable for me to throw one tank away early, and of course if I play too passively, I'm not going to get enough damage in. So again, those are 2 things that are running in the back of my head, because I am only 0.53% off getting my 3rd mark. What I want to do is I want to try and play the perfect balance where I'm not too aggressive and not too passive, so I can get, again, a decent enough damage in, so I can obviously get my 3rd mark in the IS, which is again be really nice. So to do that, I sort of push up in the middle, which is what I usually do on this map anyway. However, I do remain wary of, again, possibilities of enemy lights or mediums rushing the hill and flanking me, and of course, just general enemy placement, because again, there are like, if you push middle while you can easily get some good damage in, and I really prefer to push middle anyway and be aggressive. There's quite a lot of risk involved in regards to flanking opportunities and stuff, or just general crossfire from the enemy team. So that is something I just do want to keep in mind. So the first thing I do, push up to the mid. I see the C34-3 black on the enemy team. I put a shot into him nice and quick, doing about 350 damage or just shy of it. So actually 346, and he starts to get bombed by my allies, which is rather nice. I take a peek around the hill to see if there's anything there. I start noticing enemies getting detected on one line, so at this point in time I kind of figure, well, no one's really gone to the mid, other than the few guys in the corner and this Dragon. This Dragon kind of panicked me a bit because I realised maybe I have pushed up too far. However, although the Dragon doesn't get hit into me and does some hefty damage, I easily out-trade him, and with the support of my teammates, take him out. So at this point in time, I'm currently sitting just shy of 1,000 damage combined, or just over 1,000 damage combined at this point, and that is pretty much half my damage, well, minimum damage total. I try to get a shot at this Craft Panther here, however, it is a slim shot, and which basically means that the shell doesn't really go where I intend it. But however, at this point in time, given the Craft Panther is backed up, there's only one heavy on that corner, I kind of take the calculated risk that maybe, again, those guys aren't going to be a threat. So I push up here, knowing that most enemy team is going to be on one line, or trying to push into the middle section through that little ramp in the terrain, I guess you could say. Change targets again, trying to hit the Craft Panther. Unfortunately, can't find a shot. I do take another snapshot there, hoping to hit him. However, unfortunately, that shell just whiffed past him again. So that Craft Panther has been relatively lucky to the battle, not to be eviscerated by this 122, but it's all good. I do see the enemy Slapjack below, and a juicy Yantika 88 appears from the wild, especially with his side profile on. And at this point in time, I'm decided maybe best to farm that Yantika, since that is very easy damage right there. So at this point, I'm currently sitting on 1,500 damage. So again, only 500 damage short of my minimum requirements. I get an easy shot into the Slapjack there, since he's not paying attention, though I do start taking some really big hits. That was completely fine. There's no problem at all. And again, like I say, at this point, just shy again of that 2k requirement, though I do aim to go above that to secure the third mark in this battle. Enemy team, another enemy tank goes down, this time by suicide, which is kind of funny, and the Yantika 88 pops out again. I get a shot to him, taking my damage total up to 2.2k. However, I do take another nasty hit in return, basically bring me down to near one shot effectively from everything in this battle. P.3 goes down. Yantika is sort of distracted, so again, another shot into him, taking my damage combined up to 2.7k. At this point in time, I am definitely sure I secured the third mark, though again, I do want to secure the extra few hits just to guarantee. I do hit that Iron Rainbow and some things, but I'm not too sure if I hit him directly or just tracked him. Again, I'm not too sure. And then I push over to get another shot at the Slapjack, taking me up to 3k combined, which is rather nice. Aiming on him again. Unfortunately, SD2 is a bit of a douchebag and pushes into me, and I bounce that last shot and I get taken out by Iron Rain. But again, it's hard to be too salty, because at this point in time, I believe I secured the 3k. Well, not only secured the 3k damage combined, but I know at this point in time I've definitely secured the third mark, which is rather nice. Enemy Iron Rain eventually goes down to the rest of my team, which is rather nice. And let's have a look at the post-game stats. So again, another epic victory, which is rather nice. I'm MVP. 3,351 damage done, 138 assisted, and there it is, the lovely third mark. Those 3 red stars across my barrel to indicate that I am better, or have higher damage standing than 95% of players in this vehicle in this week. So that was again just the perfect round up to what was Not a hard third mark grind. I mean, there's definitely been harder third mark grinds I've done, like TOG 2, way back in the day. However, you know, again, it's just nice to see that. Again, I have secured that third mark, and everything is looking good. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, hope you enjoy the video, just highlighting the few of the games I had while I was free marking this vehicle. Again, just take note. If you aren't going for third marks in the IS, you definitely just need to hit that 2k damage threshold. I'd also sort of recommend maybe using the 122, though I personally prefer the 100mm in the IS. The 122 just easily allows you to accumulate damage a lot quicker. And also of note, if you aren't, like say, looking to go for those marks, definitely recommend using whatconsole.ru, as that has got fairly accurate requirements set about. But other than that though, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and keep on tonking, folks.